as it's free on the PS5 this month, I thought, shall I do a review of Maneater, as it's one of the few games at the moment that have a PS5 specific version. But then I thought to myself, well hang on, it is free, and it's about being a massive shark that rips everything limb from limb in a tongue-in-cheek way. So basically, if you don't know that you want to play it already, then it's not for you. But I thought I'd talk you through what's good about the game, what's bad about the game, and give you some chips and teats. Hints and tips, rather. Now, as you all know, you play as a shark, hence the term Maneater. But I did find it very slow to start, and I even got a little bit cheesed off because all it felt like I was doing was like eating tiny little fish and being attacked by everything, and everything's just better than you and bigger than you and stronger than you, and it was getting really quite annoying. But what you really need to do is try and concentrate on upgrading your shark, because that's when it starts becoming fun rather than a miserable task. And when you upgrade, you can unlock loads of different extras and bio weapons that you can stick onto your old moving death blade. You can have like electric jaws, bone teeth, excellent sonar which allows you to track things in the water. Basically lots of bells and whistles to make killing a lot more fun, and believe me, there's a lot of killing. There's a multitude of sea life that you can chomp on and you can eat, although I have a terrible time eating seals, I just can't do it. The body has some cool upgrades as well, and it gets you an extra ability if you upgrade it enough. I've been using the bone set to destroy boats with its special spinning death ability, and the more you kill stuff, the more you get and the more you can upgrade. Now there's a great upgrade for your organs as well, that allows you to last longer on dry land. Now this gives you so many opportunities to create mayhem. Nothing beats the slightly horrifying image of your muscly, glistening shark flopping heavily toward a screaming human who just stands there in horror as you flump closer and closer, and then you rip them to bits. Sick? Definitely. Hilarious? Well, yes, as well. Not many games out there allow you to do that. As usual in these kinds of games, XP is king, and by gathering XP is how you end up increasing your shark. And there's plenty of ways to do it. You've got all the discoverables such as chests on the ocean floor, and spinning license plates and hidden grates taking you through hidden tunnels. There's loads of side missions as well by killing certain targets, and they get harder as the game's story progresses. Now this is where your sonar ping comes in really useful, because you ping it and it shows you everything that's around you, and it either pops up as an icon if you've seen it, or a question mark if you can go and investigate it. So it's definitely well worth investing in your sonar range and get it up to the kind of the top level. Now all these things that you do give you the XP, and that XP then contributes to your shark going from pup to teen to adult to elder.
The shark is now an elder, and thus begins a new battle against systemic age discrimination.
But by far the fastest way to level your shark up is to do the story missions, and there are 10 of these. Now the story missions consist of following Scaly Pete, who's a very unpleasant character, quite frankly.
You'll never want to turn on that camera.
And the story is like a bizarre attempt to try and get you to sympathise with this horrendous gitbag by playing on the relationship of him with his son and with his own father. It seems a bit odd in a massive comedy gore fest, to be totally honest, but all you want to do is eat him, really, especially after that particularly cruel opening cinematic, which I didn't like at all and almost put me off playing the entire game. How can you empathise with such a total bellend? After about 4 hours of playing, I then became an adult shark, and I started to have a lot more fun than when I was a pup, I can tell you, and a teen. You can defend yourself finally against the constant hassle from other sharks, makos and hammerheads and all that, and the swordfish and the various other sea-born bar stewards. And at this point I really started enjoying the Infamy system, which sees you facing off against 10 different bounty hunter captains. And basically what you have to do is entice these bounty hunter bosses out by building up your infamy rank and by killing the other turdy little bounty hunters who bugger around in boats and eat the wallowing, waddling humans. Now once your threat level is high enough, they then turn up in the most hilarious boxy boats that I've seen, although they do start to get a bit bigger, coming up to about level 5 or so on. And then, well, you just eat the useless turnips. It's really funny when you watch the humorous little intro play away with the sarky voiceover chap telling you how great they are.
The Savage Shrimper.
And then after all this fanfare, they zip up to you and you just jump off them and eat the buggery out of them. It's marvellously funny. But it does also serve a really important purpose because each bounty captain has an upgrade for your shark. Then once you've won the upgrade from whichever bounty captain you've done, you need to retreat to one of your grottos, and these are the sort of safe houses that are located in every single region of the map, and then you can meditate and install your new upgrades. And that makes Bruce, your beautiful shark, really, really mean and hard and cool and tough. And once you've visited one of these grottos as well, it's really handy because that becomes a fast travel point for you to nip in between all the various areas. And of course, inside, they look gorgeous, slightly trippy, like you've taken magic mushrooms before you've gone in. As you've already noticed by now, the game is very, very pretty, and the different zones all have their own visual character. I can't tell you how nice it felt coming into the depths of Sapphire Bay, the beautiful blue depths of Sapphire Bay, after the shallow muddiness of the Fantwick Bayou and Dead Horse Lake, or whatever it's called. And the animation style is obviously meant to err on the cartoony side, even though your shark looks really quite realistic with all its little add-ons, and the gore is suitably comic book too. It's just again that opening scene felt a bit too far in my eyes, but there you go, it must be my sensibilities. Did I say I always leave the seals alone for some reason and just eat the fish? Good God, I'm obviously a massive hypocrite when it comes to differentiating between fish and the mammalian sea life. Ah, the joys of being human, eh? We're such knobs. I do also like the sense of humour too, well, at least the first time you hear something anyway, because it does happen over and over again. It's got a nice sarcastic tone delivered in a National Geographic voiceover that works for me. Bloody hell, any game with a Demolition Man reference in it can't be at all bad, can it?
In the not-so-distant future, a young visionary entrepreneur will spot these 3 shells while snorkeling and revolutionize after-toilet care.
So that's what's good about it. What's bad? Well, it's fairly repetitive, I suppose. There are only a handful of mission styles to keep you interested, so I don't think it will have that much longevity. You know, go here, kill that, eat this. And to be honest with you, I'll probably uninstall it after completing the main story campaign, and I think I'm on about level 8 or 9 at the moment. However, you can continue playing after you finish the story, and if you're a kind of completionist shark psycho, then there's going to be loads for you to do afterwards, picking up license plates and the like. The controls are okay, they're a little bit cumbersome, I suppose, and you do find yourself fighting for the buttons sometimes. What they really needed to have was a target lock, so you could lock on to whatever you're trying to attack. As it is, it has a focus mode more than a targeting mode, so it sort of flicks around to see the guy where he's coming from, but by the time he's hit you and buggered off, then your camera's pointing in the wrong direction again, so that can be quite irritating, really. You do have a multitude of attacks, but I do find myself flicking around with the buttons and not doing exactly what I want to do. That could just be me and my massive sausage fingers, but who knows. The controls on land, I think, are deliberately bad, and you can only jump and lurch at the stupid humans, but it does get a bit frustrating flopping around after a while, and sometimes trying to breach the surface and get your shark to land where you want it to can also make you clench your buttocks with angst. Now, as it's a PS5 title, it would have been nice to see it take advantage of the haptic triggers on the PS5 controller. It would have been great to feel the teeth crunching through metal and bone and flesh, but then obviously I'm a bit of a weirdo, but still, that would have been nice, you know, for it to be there. Having only played it on the PS5 version, as I'm a bit of a skinflint, it doesn't seem that there's many performance enhancements over the PS4 version, and it does look pretty much identical. So all in all, it's free, of course, which means it's well worth your time, not your money, and downloading it and having a play around with it will lead to lots of fun and larks. But if you're a sensitive soul, then you'll probably find the whole thing a little bit sickening. It was a bit sickening in places. I hate eating seals. On the whole, though, I thought it was pretty hilarious. So I do recommend that you pick it up and have a go as a nice change from whatever your current game of choice is. And if you have enjoyed my little video here, a like and subscribe would be fantastic. And if you're into Destiny 2, well, all the better. But of course, I am going to be doing some other videos as well to, you know, open up the scope of the channel a little bit. Thank you so much all for watching, and I shall see you all again very soon. Sausage out.